Warzone just shared every single change coming with Verdansk. So, I have a single phrase I have to say. Ladies and gentlemen, Warzone is back. Let's talk about it. The patch notes for Verdansk are officially here. And on top of that, I would like to say I was actually invited to the Call of Duty creator briefing today. And they told us, obviously, that all information shared within that call, the embargo lifts upon patch notes coming out. So any information that I have additionally, like on top of the patch notes, I'll try and share as we go along. But I want to run through these patch notes because Ted Timmons himself said, and I quote, Warzone is back. So I guess we're gonna have to see how true that is. I literally got chill bumps when he said that, but let's go ahead and dive in. As you can see, we've got the Call of Duty Warzone patch notes, Call of Duty Warzone Season 3 patch notes. I did zoom in quite a bit because I know that people are kind of struggling to see all the stuff on screen, especially if you're on your phone. So sorry if certain words or certain images get cut off, but we've got a lot coming. Obviously Black Ops 6, zombies, Warzone, operators, like a ton of stuff happening. Obviously this is just a picture, so we're gonna keep moving along. Off rip, we know that Ricochet is getting a massive update from what we've been told, and they say this season the focus remains on our commitment to taking down cheat makers, banning bad actors. They say, by the way, someone pointed this out, they say bad actors, and so someone in the comments of my video the other day goes, why are they banning bad actors instead of cheaters? All right, buddy. I think you may need to go back to grade school. And ensuring a great player experience. Our roadmap for the anti-cheat extends beyond this season, but in the latest progress report, we'll focus on recent results and security-focused updates coming in Season 3. Moving in, we have the Battle Pass. Of course, money, baby. Money gotta be spent, baby. Oh, we're spending that cash money. So we've got a few skins here. We're bringing back Hudson. You know that's gonna be my character. We've got the Hudson Icebreaker. We've got Mace, I think Mace Black Cell, Apocalypse King BC. So a lot happening here. I was told quite a bit is going to be coming in the, I wonder if I can find it, in the Battle Pass. I have a ton, like I got so many notes just to be clear, but there's a lot happening within the Battle Pass. Supposedly some pretty cool things that are going to be dropping in. My God, I literally cannot find where I wrote this. I'm so sorry. Battle Pass. Okay, so they also are going to be adding in some cool emotes and some cool sprays. I know that sounds like Expel, you're just promoting stuff. Listen, way back in Warzone 1, you remember the... He's making a comeback, all right? I'm pretty excited about that, and so were they within the call, which I thought was really funny. But moving forward, let's go ahead and talk about it. Memories are a powerful tool, and even the departed can change the course of history. The road back to Verdansk involves unlocking some core memories as well as some unforgettable weaponry and new operators. A flashback to Agent Jason Hudson, bringing echoes of his frontline savvy. Hudson is unlockable by progressing within the Battle Pass. Joining him is Mace, the metal-faced mercenary who will bring the war anywhere, anytime, for anyone, unlocked instantly upon Battle Pass purchase. Yada, yada, yada. There's a bunch of content coming through for there. Hey there, Editor Expel here. Just a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. And don't forget, today is the last day to get yourself a maxed out custom controller on expel.gg for only $209. Look at these things. Look, hey, right here. That means that you can build a $450 controller, and using code Expel will drop it down to $209 plus shipping. Trust me, you're gonna love it. For real, I use one every single day in every single video. A big update we're going to be seeing within Warzone, which is going to change the game for a lot of y'all that play on PS5 and on Xbox or on PlayStation 4, if you're still there. In Season 3, we're giving console players more granular options by separating the multiplayer, ranked play, and Call of Duty Warzone ranked play settings and adding new multiplayer-only setting for quick play featured and party game matches. Each of these three settings, multiplayer, ranked play, and Call of Duty Warzone ranked play, and multiplayer unranked, will include the following options. On, enables matchmaking with all gaming platforms when playing in the selected playlist. On, consoles only, enables matchmaking only with other consoles when playing in selected playlists. May negatively impact matchmaking queues for both of those, by the way. Off, restricts matchmaking to your current gaming platform only in selected playlists. Will negatively impact matchmaking. Sorry, not the top one. I meant this one. But will negatively impact matchmaking queue times. Additional details on how these settings interact with party members who are on different platforms. Players in a party who all belong to the same console platform will matchmake with the party leader's preferred crossplay settings. Players who have selected crossplay off and create a mixed platform party that includes a different console platform will have their crossplay settings temporarily adjusted to crossplay on consoles only. And then obviously the same for crossplay off, yada, yada, yada. They've added in some new stuff for the shaders. So now shaders will load in separately. You have Warzone shaders, you have multiplayer shaders, you have zombie shaders, which is much better. So if you're trying to hop into Warzone and you see the zombie shaders are still going, who cares? It's all good. You're getting the shaders that you need. So they improved the menu frame rate stability while compiling shaders. The preloading shaders warning has been split per game mode. Significantly reduce the time required to compile shaders before launching into a match, which is really good. A new menu widget has been added to the lobby to indicate the progress of preloading shaders to let you know when you are ready to play. Cool, cool, cool. PC benchmark. Obviously, if you're on PC, you can still benchmark in Black Ops 6. Customization, weapon and blueprint customization. You are now able to customize any Black Ops 6 base weapon or weapon blueprint with a skin you've unlocked or purchased across multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone. For base weapons, you can only change the skin of the base weapon, not any attachments. For blueprints, you can customize the skin with any other existing attachments, meaning basically they've added in this new system where you kind of press the customize button in the gunsmith, and then all of a sudden you can throw on a blueprint skin to your weapon. And then after that, each of your 5 or 8 attachments have the option to then customize their blueprint skins. So I don't think it works for camos. I think it only works for blueprints, which is like your paid or your unlocked blueprints. Into challenges, we have the Black Cell Daily Challenge. So Black Cell owners can now complete an additional daily challenge in multiplayer zombies and Call of Duty Warzone for an additional 7,500 experience. And now moving into the zone, baby. Get in the zone. Auto zone. Sorry. Return to Verdansk. So we're going to have an event. We already know about that. They're going to come with a bunch of stuff that 6 of which actually instantly unlock on the 2nd. You want to make sure to log into Warzone on the 2nd of April. That way you can get the Kilo 141 automatically for free. Okay. Make sure you do that. Even though Warzone's going to be down, you do want to log in. I know that sounds goofy, but that's how it's going to work. Maps. So classic. We're bringing it back. Welcome home to Verdansk, ladies and gentlemen. Verdansk has returned the map that started it all in Call of Duty Warzone, including a breadth of classic and memorable features that naturally come with it. Below is a recap of some of the improvements made at Verdansk that players can expect to see as outlined in the Return of Verdansk blog. Trees slightly repositioned, non-drivable vehicles clearly marked as smoldering wreckage. Swimming now possible only along the southern coastline, expanded into Castovian Sea, not critical to gameplay. Improved traversal in steep areas, new goat trails. So if you struggled to climb rocks back in Verdansk, which was definitely a big problem, they have added more ways to get up the side of mountains. That's cool. Shorter telephone electrical poles, that way you don't run into them while trying to float in and then accidentally die. Additional ladders and adjusted paths to rooftops. Doors now are double hinge, which means they don't just swing one way, they swing both ways, which is really good. Ascenders are returning mid-season, but they're going to be in the L shape, not the V shape. Enhanced exterior lighting, improved visibility, and reduced glare, because back in Verdansk, the glare was horrendous. We have interior lighting adjusted to reduce hiding spots, especially against dark corners. Added detail enhancements such as extra debris and scenery around fire stations and riverbanks. And for console players, the ability to view Verdansk in up to 120 FOV for the first time, which doesn't really make a difference to you because you've probably gotten used to it now with the other games, but playing Verdansk in 120 FOV on PlayStation is going to be pretty sick. So we'll definitely have to do some console only videos very soon to kind of test out whether or not crossplay is actually able to be turned off properly. Moving down, we have the Gulag showers. The Gulags making a return, of course. And it is the original Gulag from 2020 with all 3 variants included. And instead of doing a zip line, we have the capture the flag. So you have to go and stand on a flag to win it if you don't want to eliminate your enemy. So it says when Gulag matchups don't resolve fast enough, a flag will spawn in the middle of the arena. The winning player is the one that either dispatches their rival as normal or captures the flag within the time limit. We also have Rebirth, which is going to be returning on the same day. It is going to drop on the same day as Verdansk. There's going to be confusion about this. Where the hell is Rebirth? I want to play Rebirth. It drops like a few hours after Verdansk. They want to give everybody a few hours to get into Verdansk, and they're going to be dropping Resurgence quads, and then they will add the remaining squad sizes later in the season. So that's how it's going to work. Modes, we have a bunch of new modes coming in. So we have Battle Royale Casual, which is going to be 148 players, 28 players, 120 bots. We have High Trip, which obviously, you know, whole thing. We have Battle Royale at launch. Obviously, we have solos, duos, trios at 150. And then quads, they've actually bumped that up to 152, which is super sick. We have Plunder at launch, 100 players. It's going to be changed to earn 2 million instead of 1 million like it was way back in Verdansk. Warzone Bootcamp, same thing we have come to know and love, which is 20 players, 24 bots. We have Resurgence. Obviously, when something says launch window, that means the same day, basically. It's kind of what you need to know. So the map, obviously Rebirth Island, player count 44 because it's going to be quads. Playlists, weekly playlist, April 3rd through April 10th. This is what we can expect the first week of Warzone. Solos, duos, trios, quads in Battle Royale, which is a W because if you don't know, Verdansk actually launched originally with only trios. True story. So we've got solos, duos, trios, quads. We have Resurgence dropping same day on quads. We have Battle Royale Casual, quads, Plunder, quads. We have Bootcamp, quads. That's huge, in my personal opinion, that we get solos, duos, trios, quads, so everybody gets the opportunity to experience at its peak. Ranked also is going to be getting some updates throughout the season. Now that season 2 is officially wrapped up, ranked play will be temporarily offline for the first half of season 3. This downtime will give players a much awaited opportunity to rediscover and relearn Verdansk before diving back into that competition. While we plan to bring ranked play back online with season 3 reloaded update, upon its return, all players' ranks will undergo a full reset to bronze. And this is one of the things that they mentioned within the creator call is that it's going to be a full reset to bronze. And then at season 3.5, it's going to be or at season 4, it's going to be a soft reset. So no big deal there. We've got classic. We've got 150 players. The number of players in Battle Royale matches increased to 150 up from 120. Obviously, it's been that for a little bit. There are 152 players in the quad playlist. We tipped our hat at this by running it in season 2 reloaded. However, it was all to serve a greater purpose. We're officially coming home with a mix of 150 of your friends and enemies. One big thing that is coming is free fall shooting, which means you're going to be able to shoot your enemies while you're in the air, which personally I think is an L. But you know what? To get the vibes back, I feel like we're going to have to run it. As it stands now, in Call of Duty, if you're within 50 meters and you're falling, not diving, you can shoot. But they're changing it to where while you're diving, you'll have your pistol out and you can shoot. I've just come to the conclusion this doesn't matter. I was going to say my curiousness is that whether or not you take a balloon, but they took out balloons. So balloons aren't in the game anymore, or redeploy drones or whatever you want to call them. Launch pads are not in the game. You know, you're not going to be able to just fly around the map anymore. So the only time you're going to be shooting at people is when you're diving in from the plane, which I think is fine. I think that's okay, because used to like go back and think about Caldera. My big problem with Caldera as a mouse and keyboard player back then, it really didn't bother me. I actually really enjoyed it. As a mouse and keyboard player back in Caldera, I could easily like hook far and fast with a Car 98K and hit an instant shot, you know? And, you know, controller players also got very good. I'm not trying to take away from controller players that could do that same thing, but it got a little monotonous. And with aim assist the way that it is in Call of Duty, I think this may again get monotonous, but with Warzone 2, they made it to where it's only while you're dropping, not while you're flying, like Supermaning, basically. Anyway, we're restoring some of the early game intensity that keeps you on your toes, immediately leaving the infill plane, and enables more of a response during free fall. My recommendation to you would, for the love of God, find where you're going to go and don't float on your first drop. That is what I'll say, because otherwise you will die, because there's going to be players in your match that are smarter and better than you that are going to know about this, and they're going to take full advantage of it. 360-degree revive rotation. Players can now rotate their view 360 degrees while reviving a squad mate instead of being fixed on their squad mate's down position, giving the perfect opportunity to call out if your squad mate is being pushed by an enemy as they revive you. W. In-game circle pacing. So they actually had a whole conversation within the call about pacing, and it was pretty interesting, and it looks like they have a whole list of information diving into this. So in-game pacing, the gas circle pacing is faithful to the original timings of the gas closing, as well as the circle size and movement, meaning these matches will end up being about 26 minutes. These are long matches, and your life means a lot. Like you get one, maybe two, more if your teammates can buy you back, but there's going to be no redeploy tokens. There's going to be no reinforcement flares. Going to be no gulag tokens. None of that's not going to exist, which I think is an absolute W, and I'm sure we're going to get into it a little bit later. This means battle royale matches will will run longer to create a more well-defined initial looting phase. So circle pacing, circle close. First circle, 270 seconds. Second circle, 220 seconds. Third circle, 170 seconds. Fourth circle, 110 seconds. Fifth circle, 70, 50, 50. Moving. Now, they've added these in. These were not moving in the original Warzone, but I think they're doing this so that they can make it to where you don't get those stale end games where people just lock into one position. So unless you're using the recon strat, which will be back, you will not be able to lock into a specific position for the entire match and just hold it down like Iron could way back in the day. It's Iron, if you don't know, #1 player in the world for all of Verdansk. So the delay, so the first circle delay, like your white circle is going to be 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Your second circle is going to be 1 minute and 30. 75, 60, 60, 45, 30, 10, 10, 10. Oh, wow. These are going to move quick at the end of the match. So we have some good memories of games ending in the woods above Quarry or in the deep forests on the east or west of Verdansk. And this change to circle logic brings back those possible end games. Be warned, this does mean that the circle can move very quickly if you are caught deep outside when the gas starts to move. Respect the circle and you'll stay alive. And this is exactly what Ted said himself. He said, look, you gotta book it, bro. On that first circle, do not be outside. Do not, under any circumstances, be outside that circle. That first circle, you want to be inside. Do not be at the edge of the circle. This is where that Iceman Isaac, like pinwheel rotation, this is the one time it's going to come back in handy is knowing how to actually do that pinwheel. Make sure you're on the shorter side of the circle as often as you can be. That way, if you are outside that circle, you're not going to get caught. Map assets. Let's go. Let's talk about that ass. Mini models and textures found across Verdansk now feature classic aesthetics, including but not limited to armor plates, armor satchels, which by the way, armor satchels are the original armor satchels, giving you up to 8, buy stations and contracts. Gameplay time, baby. Ascenders are back to bring back the classic feel of Verdansk. External ascenders have been disabled at launch, but are scheduled to return in the mid-season. So they're going to be kind of fast tracking a lot of the changes that we're going to want to bring Warzone up to date, but they want to give us that OG, that nostalgia feeling, and a lot of stuff is kind of worse for it, but that's all right because that's Warzone, baby. Internal ascenders within elevator shafts remain operational. Gulag loadouts. Loadouts within the Gulag have been reworked to improve variety and balancing. I want the one-shot deagle, dog. That's what I want. These loadouts will change as the game progresses, allowing players that return to the field victorious to do so with a competitive weapon in hand for a better chance at recovery. Circle 1, the primary is nothing. You come back with a pistol. Category 2, loadout 1 is a Strider 22 with an extended mag 1. Loadout 2, so these are optionals, by the way. You get, oh, wait, no. Circle 1, you come back with nothing. You come back butt-ass naked. Circle 2, you come back with a Strider 9mm or the GS45. The category of lethals that you get is a Frag, Thermite, Molotov. Smoke, smoke, smoke. Circle 2, you get a C9, AS Val, or the PP919. Interesting, then the same secondaries here. Oh, I'm a dumbass. I read that completely wrong. So these are your primaries and your secondaries. So you don't come back with an AR or something like that. You'll just come back with a pistol. So circle 1, you just come back with a pistol. Circle 2, you come back with an AR and SMG, basically SMGs. Circle 3, you come back with those AR/SMGs, but with like an extended mag. Circle 4, you come back with those with extended mag, quick draw grip, or recoil springs. And circle, that's it. Okay, so that's as much as it changes. Infill and backup pistol. Players will now infill and spawn with the 9mm PM, replacing the GS45. So if you want to go ahead and give that a shot, I dive into Warzone today, get used to that pistol. That way you can use it to your advantage when you hop into Warzone on day one of Verdansk. Late game redeploy. Late game redeployments will now spawn players closer to the ground, reducing the need to hover while positioning during final circles. This system has not been turned on since Black Ops 6 launched. Interesting. Player respawn angles. Players will now respawn looking approximately 30 degrees downward instead of directly at the horizon, providing a clearer view of potential landing areas, which also is going to give you more information about where your enemies are. That way you're not getting screwed. I think that's a W. This adjustment aligns with natural player behavior when scouting landing spots. Cool. Unsuppressed red dot distance. Ooh, okay. The distance at which unsuppressed weapons display a red dot has been reduced in Resurgence. Okay. So not in Verdansk. Unsuppressed red dots are core to all Call of Duty Warzone, to the Call of Duty Warzone experience, and while developing Verdansk, we took great care in evaluating the strengths of red dots on each map, which previously was a static value regardless of play space. While reviewing these values, we felt that given the vastly smaller map size of Rebirth Island, the red dots should be better aligned to the small map experience. These adjustments are based on both player feedback and our design goals, ensuring that visibility of unsuppressed gunfire matches the intended combat dynamics for each map. That's cool. I think that's fine. Floating loot is back, baby. Should give you better visibility, should make it easier to pick up, and hopefully they won't flop on top of each other to where we can't pick them up. Adjustments. The return of Verdansk comes with some refinements to the Battle Royale's loot philosophy that brings us back to its roots. Life is valuable. I'm sorry. I'm starting to get some chills here, baby. Life is valuable. Adaptability is key. Great loot must be earned, and contracts are central to earning cash. In order to create more intentionality around looting, the various sources of loot have been adjusted to be more reminiscent of the classic Verdansk days with some improvements. Ground loot refresh. Common to epic weapons now sport a selection of random attachments that align with the weapon's natural strengths. Okay. Legendary weapons come with a variety of fixed builds tailored to specific roles that are randomly selected match over match. Cool. So if you're trying to be a sniper, they'll give you a good setup for a sniper. If you're trying to be a good like SMG player, be a good SMG player. If you're trying to be a good AR player, that legendary weapon will be a great AR. This change aims to maintain the excitement of random loot while preserving the reliability of weapon performance. Looting in recent years has become a little too static. A blue, rare tier weapon, often providing the most valuable attachments and devaluing an epic or legendary find. True. This change aims to bring some different outcomes in the more commonly found weapons and makes legendary weapons or loadouts highly sought after. W. That's actually huge because we've been kind of, I don't know if y'all feel this way about Urzikstan, but I feel like when I hop into Urzikstan and I pick stuff up off the ground, I'm like, damn, this sucks every single time. There's not one gun where I'm like, I can use it for a little bit. I don't pick up like I will say the PP919, that's probably the only one. But everything else, I'm not picking up the 8 attachment. I'm not picking up the 5 attachment. I'm going for an SMG. That's all I want off the rip. So if they improve those other weapons, I think this is going to be an absolute W. Moving to supply boxes, we have basic, legendary, reusable. So reusables are going to be in the match, which they weren't back in Verdansk. Interesting. So loot boxes provide consistent cash rewards and average to high quality weapons, occasionally offering a premium equipment such as, well, you got to phrase it like that because equipment is like lethals and tacticals. That's a weird way to put it. Such as legendary weapons, kill streaks, and gas masks. Cool. Legendary supply boxes have received significant updates for a more rewarding experience. These boxes guarantee top tier weapons and some of the best loot available with increased chances of obtaining substantial cash. I can't speak. They did not mention how much cash is going to be in here. I actually did ask that specific question. And from what I can tell in the patch notes, they didn't mention it. I think they actually told me that they already covered that, but I don't think they understood my question that I asked. Neither here nor there. We'll figure it out day one. We'll know how the system works whenever that gets to it. These boxes for the reusables replenish every 90 seconds. You'll get decent stuff, probably not great stuff. Duffel bags, duffel bags, duffel bags, medical cabinets, and weapon lockers. these sources of loot have been removed to better service the classic feel of Verdansk. Okay. Second chance mechanics. They've gotten rid of gulag tokens, reinforcement flares, redeploy tokens. The only available methods to return after death are gulag victories, buy station buybacks, and jailbreak events. W. Self-revives can only be acquired via the following sources. Legendary supply boxes. Okay. Scavenger contract. Okay. Buy station, $4,000, and fire sale for free. They made it free with the fire sale. That's so freaking sick. Yes. Your life matters in returning back to the classic feel of Verdansk. We are going back to a simpler set of second chance mechanics that are faithful to the original Battle Royale experience. Dude, I'm fucking pumped, dude. Death tax. Cash dropped upon death has been adjusted. So now 50% of the cash balance will drop on the ground and 50% will remain with the eliminated player, up from 20%. So 100% of the cash will exist within the environment. You just have to go back and get it, which is good. After months of playtesting, we noticed the regain in the middle to late game was almost impossible. So the design, by the way, after months of playtesting, they have been working on this forever. Loot angle. Interactions now require more precise aiming to reduce accidental item pickups, resolving most unintended looting situations, such as inadvertently picking up items during reloads. Yeah, thank you. that was hell, dude. We were struggling out there. Rarity outlines. So now they have like red, green, blue, purple, whatever on their outlines, which is super cool. We have loot card positionings. Loot cards are now centered over items to improve readability, particularly when combined with floating loot. Loot cards remain at a fixed height rather than moving with the player's view. Cool. Loot cards are hidden when players sprint, dive, slide, use lethals, tacticals, and field upgrades. Also good. Loot cards now have contextual prompts. For example, if a player has an empty weapon slot, a weapon loot card prompt will say equip. But if the player has 2 weapons equipped, the prompt will say swap. That's a W. Buy stations, this is a big one. This is a big one. And I actually asked a question on this, which made a lot of sense. A lot of people were, probably going to have the same exact question. And this was a big one for me. So I asked, Ted answered, and we'll get into it in just a minute. So vertical redesign. The vertical list is back. The left side of the buy station now clearly shows all gear available for purchase, including equipment, kill streaks, and field upgrades. The right side will display teammates who have been eliminated or are eligible for a buyback, provided that they are not currently awaiting a gulag battle. Importantly, controller players can still press up to access the loadout drop marker in one button press, as we wanted to retain the carousel interface to allow for quicker access to items further down the list, which means instead of going tap, 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 you just tap once, grab your loadout, you're done. To enhance navigation efficiency and emphasize loadout acquisition, individual weapon purchases have been removed. That is a W. I'm so glad. And honestly, I know that a lot of people are going to get upset about that, but that is classic Battle Royale. You have to get your loadout to get your loadout. It's that simple. I love it. I love all the returning features to like classic BR, all the returning features to Warzone 2020. I think this is all huge. This is so freaking exciting. And I know that everyone is going to get hit in the face with how annoying the game is to go back to day one because they don't really understand the differences. And I think there's going to be a lot of people that really don't like this now that I think about it. But if you played Warzone 2020, you're going to be like, oh shit, this is nice. Our aim is to recapture the classic Battle Royale feel reminiscent of playing on Verdansk 5 years ago. Adjustments to the buy station reflect this vision, featuring a reduced selection of purchasable items and updated prices aligned with the game's new economic balance. We intend for players to experience an economy more akin to Call of Duty Warzone in 2020, where strategic cash management becomes essential to gameplay decisions. So what I was talking about is I did ask a question, and the question was, when you hop in and you have teammates available to purchase, will it start on the redeploy or will it start on whatever item is down below? And what I was told specifically from him is that they actually did extensive testing on this specifically. They wanted to see if it makes more sense to hop in and bye-bye, like click, and you purchase your teammate, press square, your teammate's back. They found, from what I've been told, that it did not feel right to do that because at some points you would dive in and you would think, okay, I need to go buy some plates. I only have enough for plates, but you're going to start on the right-hand side to buy back your teammates. So you have to naturally press that button to go back over to the left. But the issue is you would memorize it that way. And then when you played solos, you'd mess it up. So I get it. I absolutely get it. As long as it's not like super busted like it is in Urzikstan, because this is literally what I said. I said, right now, it's a massive L in Urzikstan that it's almost impossible to buy back your teammates and you start buying random shit. But because you don't go into a menu, I'm sure it's going to be much better, so it won't affect us as much. But his exact verbiage was muscle memory is king. They tested having it on redeploy, but found it's better to always have it on armor because you know where you're at. So that's what they said. Redeploy all button, which is kind of what I just mentioned. Wait, we recognize the... After we determined that prior to... Okay, sorry, I feel like I just said all this and they're going to repeat it. So redeploy all button, we have introduced a single button shortcut at buy stations, allowing players to redeploy all teammates simultaneously. Although the redeploy all button is executed with one button press, individual flares and sound effects will trigger for each teammate redeployed, alerting nearby enemies to the total number of returning players. So if you purchase 3 players, it's going to pop up 3 flares. In scenarios where efficient funds prevent player from buying back entire squad, the redeploy all feature will prioritize teammates carrying the highest cash amounts, which is such a big deal and takes the thinking out of it, which I think is great. It's like, who has the most money? Everybody has to go and figure it out beforehand. Who should I buy back? You buy back the person with the most cash, which I think is huge. We recognize the urgency of quickly redeploying teammates under pressure, especially when attempting hero plays amidst heavy combat, which is me playing with pipe. After careful consideration, we determined that prioritizing teammates with the highest cash aligns most closely with the most prominent behavior that we've observed. Item icons. Each entry in the vertical buy station now shows the icon of its respective item, which is really cool. So if we go back up here, you can see on the left-hand side, it shows what it looks like in your bottom left. As we found this vastly sped up the at-a-glance navigation in playtesting. Cool. Item count. Players can easily see how many of an item they already own while in the buy station before making a decision on what to purchase. Oh, own 3. Oh, cool. Cool. That's actually really nice. That makes my life easier, so I'm not looking down into the left when I'm trying to tap for plates. Item count. Yep. Category subheaders. So now it says what kind of item it is. Spawn locations. Buy stations will now spawn in the exact same 30. Oh yes, thank you, yes. If you looked in the last video that I did going over like all the changes, they actually said that it was gonna move, you know, which was not cool. I was like, oh shit, that's not good. But they're going to be static locations every single match, which I think is a absolute W. Inventory pricing. So we have updated the prices for various items in the buy station as follows. And by the way, they did say in the call that these will change over time. This is all for nostalgia, all for like going back to how it originally felt. So armor plates, 300, which weren't in there before. Cluster strike, 3,000. Precision airstrike, 5,000. UAV, 6,000. Gas mask, 3,000. Self-revive, 4,000. Munitions, 2,500. Armor, 4,000. And the armor box being 4,000 is because armor plates are so cheap up here. So if it's just you, you buy this. If it's not just you, you buy this. Loadout marker. Solos is 6,000. Duos, trios, quads is 10,000. I know you're probably like, why do they not change whenever you go up slowly? So for most people, it's like, oh, if it was 6,000 in solos, then it should be like 7,500. 9,000, yada, yada, yada. And the reason why is because they, again, wanted to make it feel akin to the original Warzone in Verdansk. And then squad mate redeploy is 4,000. Interact angle. The buy station can now be accessed from any angle, including behind it, providing increased flexibility during tense engagements. Yes! Yes, Raven Software. Woo! Let's go, baby. That is an absolute W, and I've been looking for that W for like a year and a half, maybe 2 years. I'm losing my mind out here in Call of Duty trying to buy back a teammate. I gotta like just creep my ass around, hoping that teammates don't see me. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Movement. This is a big one. I know. Everybody's gonna be like, what the hell? The movement's going worse. I know. Hear me out. This is going to be good for a lot of players, and it's not as bad as it seems. The introduction of Black Ops 6 Omni Movement System revolutionized gameplay and has become the foundation of player movement in Call of Duty Warzone. While the system launched with multiplayer-inspired values, we recognized that the need for adjustments to better align movement dynamics with the unique demands of Call of Duty Warzone's limited life modes. Season 3 focuses on fine-tuning the Black Ops 6 player movement by ensuring a balance between fluidity and responsiveness. So, that is a good thing. And the exact verbiage from Ted was you're just going to have to play it, because reading these numbers is going to sound like one thing, but it is way different whenever you actually play. It feels much better than you think it does. So these numbers, I wouldn't take them to heart or anything. Just keep in mind that it should feel better fluid-wise and responsiveness-wise than it does right now, hopefully getting rid of that floatiness that people don't like about Omni movement. So crouch movement speed reduced by 10, which I think is good. Crouch to stand speed increased by 15. So you're bum, 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 up and down, up and down. You can do that a little bit faster. Crouch to stand speed while ADS increased by 39%. Holy crap. Pro movement speed reduced by 5%. I think that's good. Sprint movement speed reduced by 4.9%. So we're going to slow everybody down. Directional sprint animation blends speeds increased for improved fluidity. These values bring Call of Duty Warzone's movement speeds closer to the spirit of the original experience while preserving the fluidity of Black Ops 6. We encourage players to go hands-on with these fine-tuned changes, as they can be hard to express in the patch note. The proof is in the pudding. This is exactly what he said. Jump cooldown. Reduce the cooldown by 40% for improved responsiveness during repeated jumps. I'm saying bunny hop. Bunny hop. Omni sprint side and back speed scaling reduced by 8.5% to better balance strafe movement. Interesting. Slide friction increased by 4% to reduce overly slippery engagements. Like, you know how like you're on a roof and you like go to slide and you just slip off the roof and you're like, ah, shit. Like, I think that's what they're trying to adjust here. These adjustments address the dominant power of strafe engagements while maintaining fluidity for mechanics such as sprinting, strafe reloading, and general navigation. Responsiveness across movement systems has been improved to ensure smoother gameplay while striking a better balance for Call of Duty Warzone's fast-paced encounters. This will bring back the feeling of a classic Warzone experience that we all know and love. Contracts. Again, we did get a change to recon contracts, replacing the intel contract. We get to go stand and spin in a circle because it makes it go faster. That's a lie. Supply run is basically a fire sale. If you complete it, you go to the buy station, but it makes your teammates free. Self-revives will be free and teammates will be free. So that's a W. Contract multiplayer is back. So each contract completed now grants a 30% cash bonus, stacking up to a maximum of 150% additional cash rewards in both Battle Royale and Resurgence modes. My goal is to maximize cash at all costs. And we're going to do a video of seeing if we can get to $1 million. I already know that's coming. We are going to be a millionaire in Call of Duty Warzone. Who wants to be a millionaire, baby? Stacking upon completed contracts in the early game is a great way to improve your chances if you need to in a mid to late game regain, as the multiplier will carry throughout the entire game to give greater financial rewards later on, which is why you kind of want to hop in and do the easy contracts first and then pick up a shitload of bounties. Tablet models. All contracts look like the OG models. They have enabled bounty, disabled big game bounty, enabled most wanted, disabled signal intelligence, enabled recon, disabled spy drones, enabled scavenger, enabled supply run. Spawn rebalancing. Contract spawn rates have been adjusted throughout base Battle Royale to enhance distribution and improve overall gameplay balance. W. Payout updates. Yes. So they are basically similar to how it was way back in the day. Recon contract progress. Added upward arrows indicating how much faster a recon contract is being captured by your team depending on how many players. Yes, I love that. They just added a quality of life update that literally no one asked for, and I love them for it. Oh my God, Raven Software. I could just... Come here, boy. Oh yeah, I love that, dude. So now if you hop on a recon and then your teammate hops on a recon, you know the exact percentage it gets faster. And then another teammate hops on, the recon shows you how much faster it goes then. And then another one, how much faster it goes then. That is an absolute W. Let's freaking go. My God, I freaking love Raven Software, dude. Adjustments. So public events have changed. They disabled flyby, cash drop, contractor, rogue signal, runaway train, and recon flyover. They've enabled fire sale, jailbreak, loadout drop, which is kind of an L in my opinion. Restock. That is it. Equipment. They brought back the thermite baby, but there's some adjustments to this. We're going to get into some big changes in just a minute. So, wake up. You here, wake up. All right. So in Season 3, Thermite returns as a specialized anti-vehicle and area denial tool, echoing its original use in Verdansk. It will not one-shot eliminate an enemy, though. You stick an enemy, it's not going to kill them. If they're down to 2 or 1 plate, they will die. Hiccup, hold on. Oh, God. Thermites now instantly explode vehicles if their health reaches 0 from its damage ticks, similar to a C4, which, by the way, I'm so pumped for what they did. I already took a little sneak peek. Unlockable via the Black Ops Tribute event. Cool. Adjustments. The following is an outline of the full arsenal of lethal and tactical equipment, including how to acquire them across a match in Battle Royale in Verdansk. C4s, frag... I'm going to zoom out just a hair. Sorry, we've got... Oh, where did it go? I've lost it. So C4, frag grenade, Molotov, Simtex grenade, spring mine, thermite, throwing knife. Tacticals, concussion, decoy, experimental gas, flashbang, smoke, snapshot, stem. Only available via customizable loadout. Blast trap, combat axe, drill charge, impact grenade, thermo grenade. Okay, so all of the, literally everything stayed. Let me zoom in again. Sorry. Where are we? Come on back now. Give me just a minute. Satchels, armor satchel, munition satchel. Oh, available via only bandolier. So you can only get the munition satchel by having bandolier. I wonder if it drops it on people's bodies though. So armor satchel is basically the only one that you're going to be picking up for the most part, and the munitions you're going to be picking up in your loadout. Adjustments, maximum armor plates. Default maximum capacity reduced from 6 to 5 to match the classic experience. Interesting. Armor satchel capacity now increases plates by an additional 3, totaling 8. Armor drops. By the way, we could get 12 before. So this is kind of crazy. Armor drops. Eliminated players will consistently drop at least 1 armor plate in Battle Royale. That is a W. This does not apply to bots in Boot Camp and Battle Royale Casual. Interesting. They said armor is your first line of defense and gauges how freely you'll take engagements. Recently, armor supplies have been so plentiful that enemies are able to reinforce armor several times in the middle of a fight, and the notion of downtime or the need to resupply has been lost, which I think is good. That's why resetting the gunfight is important, but if everybody just keeps challenging, it's super annoying. This massively affects the pace of the game and also changes how you'll rotate to the next safe zone. That is very true. To maintain balanced gameplay, armor has become less abundant, ensuring players experience meaningful downtime and strategic decisions between engagements. This returns the gameplay feel to a more classic experience, emphasizing the value of armor resupply. I think that's good. If everybody's on the same playing field, that is perfect. Gulag armor removed in unranked. Oh, guess what? Guess what? That's pop. 1 to the head, baby. That's all it's going to take in the Gulag. Haha, it's going to be crazy. In unranked Battle Royale modes, the Gulag now features health-only combat, placing greater emphasis on precision and tactical movement, reminiscent of the classic Gulag experience. Oh, God. Armor plate color improvements. The armor plate color has received an improvement where the color hue will be darker if the player doesn't have full plates. Oh, the color will remain the familiar bright color hue when the players are full. This will better indicate to players that they have lost almost lost full plates. That is awesome. So it gets darker and darker as it goes down, basically. Field upgrades in squad widget. So now it shows like if your teammate has an armor box. By the way, I can't even think of this dude's name, but shout out to the guy that did the video, The Little Things, back in Verdansk. Dude, you changed Warzone. You literally changed Warzone for the better. You gave the quality of life updates that Raven Software needed to hear. And I can't remember your name for the life of me, and I'm so sorry, but I want you to know that I love you, bro. Thank you so much for what you provided and then disappeared off the face of the planet, man. Much love. I know we followed each other on Twitter at some point, but I don't know. I got no idea. I love you, man. I just want to say that. The adjustments. Sorry, I'm gonna zoom out. Whoa. Okay. Where are we? So enabled. What? The following is an outline of the full arsenal of field upgrades in a match of Battle Royale on Verdansk. Available to us now is armor box, deployable cover, heartbeat sensor, munitions box, recon drone, trophy system, utility box. Available only via the battle ready wildcard. Wildcards still exist. They disabled deployable buy station, W. Portable decontamination station, which is going to make a comeback, by the way. Portable radar, portable redeploy drone, portable drone beacon, reinforcement flare, scrambler, and war cry. I don't even know what oh, that's a There's a weird way to put it. Heartbeat sensor, increased battery life from 60 to 120 seconds. What the hell? We can't return home properly without welcoming back the heartbeat sensor, which was already in the game. So I don't know why we're pretending that it wasn't. While not infinite, like its great predecessor, we understand that a minute of battery time is simply not enough to utilize it effectively. Can we talk? Hold on. I need you to think about this. Sorry, this one's got me messed up. There is 26 minutes in the match. You want me to use 1/13 of that holding a heartbeat sensor out? Man, what the bro? What? 1/13 of the match holding a... Just sit in your corner, dog. Just sit in your... You don't even need the heartbeat. Just sit in the corner. Wait it out. It'd be all right. Reclaimable field upgrade. Ooh, now they can all reclaim, from what I can tell. An interactable icon now appears on a reclaimable field upgrade to better highlight that they can be re-equipped. That's awesome. Kill streaks, advanced UAV, activating 3 consecutive UAVs. Cluster strike, precision strike, supply UAV by the battle ready wildcard, which means it's not in the map naturally, and the UAV. They've gotten rid of bunker buster, care package, counter UAV, foresight is gone, napalm strike, SAM turret, sentry turret. I'm just like, dude, it's starting to like kind of hit me, bro. It's like everything they say, every single thing that like goes up to the next and the next and the next. Like it's starting to like tickle this place in my heart, bro. Like it's just like Ted Timmons over there, like, you know what I mean? Like, good Lord have mercy. We got the precision airstrike indicator has been removed. This is a touchy subject because technically it was a good thing. Everybody was very excited that it existed in the capacity. Everybody was excited that it existed in the capacity that it did. The only problem is it made them pointless. So now them actually, going back to the classic feel, removing the airstrike indicator on the map, it probably is better, to be quite honest. Crowded airspace notification. The airspace too crowded message will now appear when a player attempts to pick up or aim down sights with a kill streak in an area where too many aerial kill streaks is currently active. This removes uncertainty about kill streak usability upon looting. W. Lootable perks. All lootable perks have been removed from Battle Royale. W. These may return in a future update depending on feedback. As long as it's not quick fix, I don't give a shit. Weapons. Sorry, I'm going to zoom in. I know. Expel, what are you doing? Zoom in again. Hold on. We're almost there. We're almost there, fellas. Just got to zoom in. All right. Reflecting on our 5th anniversary, it's important to acknowledge our journey and current state, including in regards to combat. This milestone presents an opportunity to celebrate our successes and critically assess our shortcomings. The game has continuously evolved through the addition of new features, systemic enhancements, economic adjustments, and philosophical shifts in balancing. These improvements help us better understand what is effective and where further refinements are needed. Call of Duty Warzone was designed to deliver the essence of Call of Duty Battle Royale, combining exceptional, precise gunplay with a strategic and intense limited life scenario. While this core principle remains intact, certain distractions have at times impacted the intended pacing and intensity of gameplay. Building upon recent adjustments, such as reduction of armor preserves, to improve economic pacing, we are introducing substantial buffs to weapon damage. This is actually a massive deal. I just want to be very clear about that. Initially, these enhancements will focus on Black Ops 6 weapons, subsequently extending to legacy weapons. Our goal with these changes is to increase the lethality of every encounter, reinvigorate overlooked weapon classes, and encourage players to adopt a more thoughtful and deliberate strategy in preparation for engagements. I think that's great. So the kilo's back, baby. It's available via Call of Duty Warzone login reward. CR56 is back. It's available via the Battle Pass on page 6. The HDR is back, available via the Battle Pass on page 3. This is a one-shot elimination at all ranges. As a quick heads up, bullets have a lower muzzle velocity but remain devastating even at very long ranges, which means one shot across the board. They do not mention at any point the lethality being changed for other weapons, like, other snipers. So I guess we'll see what happens. Cali sticks are back. 2-hit kill, extremely fast attack speed, short range, available via an event reward. I will also note the riot shield I asked about. Jam Cal, I love you, bro. They didn't respond. I asked. I did. They didn't give me anything. So shit out of luck, bro. New conversion kits. So we have the Growl coming via a conversion kit for the SWAT 556, and it equips a new default barrel and magazine and unlocks an exclusive 50-round extended magazine. Blocks barrel attachments. Okay, cool. Available via the Page 5 reward. So that comes at launch. Monolithic suppressor is making a comeback. This is going to give you sound suppression and increased range. You're going to get that on the Battle Pass page 7. I'm going to buy the Battle Pass straight up. I just want to let y'all know we're buying every single page of the Battle Pass. So we will have all of that day one, so be there. That way I can showcase to you everything. Default loadouts. By the way, I may actually stream once I get all my content for the day so that we can just community it out, dude. So that'll be over on twitch.tv/expel. We'll see what happens. Got to see how it goes. Default loadouts. Default loadouts available via loadout crates during a match have been updated with more competitive options. This season, we have updated the default loadouts with a new selection of weapons and equipment. Our goal is to provide viable options that cater to both new and returning players. To ensure these loadouts remain competitive, we are committed to making frequent adjustments. Now, with that said, the reason why is because they are not going to change how long it takes to level up weapons. I didn't ask about it, but I did mention it while the chat was going on, while they were talking about stuff like this. What I basically said was, I think anything, I don't give a crap if you give literal meta weapons in the default loadouts, anything to make it easier for players to hop in and just play without having to think about the 100+ hours of leveling weapons. That is literally what I said in the chat. I want to be very clear. I have been vocal about this. Moving forward, we have weapon adjustments. And then we'll have a bunch of vehicle stuff in just a minute. The vehicle stuff is actually a huge deal. Weapon adjustments. The AK-74 is getting a damage buff of a lot. It is the... Oh, what? Oh, okay. Let me zoom out for a second. I apologize. There's a lot to look at, and I don't want to look at it that way. Sorry, I'm scrolling up. AK-74 getting a damage buff at every range, but the range is technically going down. I know that sounds weird, but... headshot multiplier increased from 1.07 to 1.2. Basically, every single assault rifle is going to be more lethal at their lethal ranges, you know? So that's kind of what we're going to see. Everything gets a big increase. We're going to cover all these weapons with Expel Plus, my second channel. So I highly recommend you go over there and subscribe, because there's going to be a ton of content over there covering what are the best weapons. And what you'll see here is that there's nothing about sniper rifles, which is what I was trying to say. So shotguns, the ASG got it better. The Maelstrom got it better. Marine, light machine gun, everything got more powerful. You're going to see a lot of arrows here. Everything got more powerful. Every single weapon. Car 98K, by the way, lower torso and arm multipliers increased from 0.95 to 1.2, which is insane. Leg multipliers increased from 0.7 to 0.9. So we'll see how this works out. But the Car 98K may be back. I don't know. I have no idea. Pistols got a lower damage across the board, but they got a buffed range, which I found was pretty interesting, and they increased the headshot multiplier. Now, with that in mind, that means when you get in the gulag and you hit a headshot, that means they're going to be way better, which is huge. So you hop in the gulag, it's going to make it, literally look at this. The GS45 headshot multiplier increased to a 3 times increase. The Strider, 3 times increase. Launchers, We've got obviously damage buffs across the board. The HE1 is a one-shot elimination. Holy shit. Sigma, one-shot elimination. Joker, always a one-shot elimination. Pila, always a one-shot elimination. The RPG is a one-shot elimination in the inner explosion. The Strela, one-shot elimination, inner explosion. Holy crap. The Siren got a buff. Wow. Wow, that is a lot of stuff buffing. So classic vehicles are making a comeback. We got the classic helicopter. We've got the cargo truck, which is already in the game right now, but they've adjusted kind of the way that they feel. So I'm going to zoom in once again. Apologies. Got to scroll down. Oh, still didn't zoom in enough. My God, it is a lot to do here. Sorry, just a minute. Just a minute, everybody. Lots of scrolling to go through. Lots of scroll. There's a lot of things that I opened up. That's my bad. That is on me. Okay, can I get, all right, maybe start closing things, Expel? Minimize that. All right, vehicles. We have the heli, cargo truck, Polaris, which is our off-roading vehicle, I guess. We have the LTV, the ATV. I was told, by the way, I asked, literally, again, in the creator call, I asked, hey, can I run people over with vehicles again? And he point blank said, yes, you can run people over with vehicles again. Yes, let's go. Sorry, I'm just so pumped. With the return of Verdansk, we are looking to capture the original essence of vehicles in Warzone. In collaboration with our friends at Treyarch, we have tuned movement, health, damage resistance, and equipment interactions to feel much closer to the original vision. We know that nobody wants paper-thin vehicles, and we also know that vehicles are more fun when they can effectively get you from point A to point B. Traversal shouldn't feel restricted to roads alone. That said, there will be appropriate counters to vehicles reminiscent of the past. The chart below serves a high-level view. Son of a bitch. Hold on, just a minute. We're almost there. I think I'm just going to stay zoomed out from here on because this is stupid. So here's kind of what you need to know. Launchers, one hit to the AT. Everything is a one hit to the ATV except for thermites here. So that's cool. To the helicopter, the Joker's a one hit, the C4 is a one hit, the traps are a one hit, like blast traps. Cool, great. Grenades are a two hit, launchers are a two hit. To the Polaris, we have Jokers, one hit, thermite, 13 ticks, C4, one hit, traps, one hit, blast traps, and prox mines, I guess, fall within that category as well. Grenades, two hits. To the LTV, this is a big deal. This is a massive deal. I just need to be very clear. The Joker's a one hit. The C4 stays a one hit. I will say this again. The C4 to every single vehicle aside from the cargo truck is a one hit explosion, which means you toss it. It is close to the vehicle. Kaboom. That's it. It's that simple. So we're going to be seeing a big change in people running C4s because there's no more balloons. So vehicles are going to be used a ton. So blast traps, 1 to 2 hits on the cargo truck. C4s are 2 hits. We see grenades kind of slowly get a little bit worse across the board as the vehicles get bigger and tankier, but the Joker stays a 1 hit across the board. Pinging near vehicles' quality of life made improvements to the accuracy of pings to loot near a vehicle to avoid the ping to snap to vehicles. W. They've brought back the classic Warzone victory screen, which is huge. The tac map, and compass icons. The tac map has the circular cursor. Oh, that's cool. From the classic Warzone experience, all map icons are also spiritually faithful to the color palette from Verdansk with some improvements to help better identify certain items at a glance. Ping visuals. The ping shape has been reverted from the triangle shape to a lollipop shape that, oh God, I'm a kid in a candy shop is what it is. Go-to pings now also have the classic visuals. Score feed colors. Standard score events now appear yellow for the classic look. Special core events are highlighted in white for better distinction. So this one right here is actually pretty interesting. We have weapon inspect to view attachments. This is going to be huge for creators. I don't know how much it matters to you, but I will explain how it makes a big difference in just a second to a lot of people. So inspecting a weapon now displays all its attachments on screen, allowing players to see exactly how the gun is configured. This can be disabled with the weapon inspect attachment info option. We're excited to introduce this update as a part of our ongoing efforts to improve clarity and onboarding. Seeing a weapon's full attachment set up at a glance can help players better understand builds and especially the weapon they picked up from the ground. We're investigating other ways to use the inspect interface to assist with onboarding and better explaining the player's loadout. We'll keep listening for feedback. So the interesting thing about this is imagine you hop into a match and you want to figure out, all right, what am I doing? You hop in, you fight somebody, you pick up their gun, you're like, damn, that thing was nasty. So you pick it up, you start shooting people with it. You get like way late in the game, you're like, damn, this thing is crazy. You inspect the gun, you know the attachments. It's that whip out your phone, take a picture of your TV. That's all you got to do. That is it. And you know the attachments. You're not looking at codmunity.com, which is a great place, by the way, to get loadouts, or you go to Expel Plus. Another great place to get loadouts. But you're not looking at all that to try and figure out what the attachments are. You figure out from just picking it up off the ground. Next up, obviously, we have the detailed death recap. I did ask if there's going to be an option for input and platform on the death recap, and they said they currently don't have plans for it, but they're going to look into it in the future based on community feedback. Right now, they have affected by live ping, affected by UAV, affected by unsuppressed weapons, and that's going to help people understand why they're dying. They threw back in the prioritized favorite loadout in Gunsmith. So that's going to work from now on to where it pops up at the top. Mission items in squad widget. A new slot has been added to the squad widget to show each squad member's most recent mission item icon for improved coordinate. This is like a mission item refers to things like key cards or Easter egg. I don't even know what the hell that is, but all right. It probably just helps with like you trying to get into bunkers. Death skull icon. The size of the death skull icon is increased to make it easier for players to locate their previous death location. W. Navigation pings. Updated to provide clearer, more intuitive iconography with a design that may feel familiar to veteran players. W. Players icons. Minimap and tac map player icons have been enhanced to visually differentiate between talking, firing weapon, staying quiet. Wait, minimap and tac map. Oh, ghost perk on and off, leaving match confirmation. We all hate that. It says, hey, are you sure you want to leave the match? Your teammates are still here. Ping distance text on map. Added dark backing to pings on map to improve readability of the distance text on the map. I wish they would have shown a picture of that, but cool. Ping duration setting. They've now added it to where, pick a duration between off infinite or up between 1 and 20 seconds. That's insane. I wonder if that includes their teammates' pings. TAC map centering options. New setting map assist provides a few different options to enable players to have more agency over their experience. I'm sorry. This has been a lot of words that I've been spitting out, and I'm sorry. I'm just like stumbling over what I'm talking because this is a lot of stuff. This has been a lot. We've been going for an hour. I just been chatting with you for an hour, just reading words on his. We're learning to read together. Welcome to the ABCs. Oh. Auto zoom and center. Upon opening the map, it will auto zoom and auto center to the player each time. Interesting. Auto center it'll center to the player. Zoom in center once off. I'll probably keep mine off to be quite honest. Or maybe I'll have it actually auto center on me. That would probably be the best idea. Audio. So they've gone back and they've changed back to all the classic audio. That means cinematic, music, announcer, hit markers, armor plates and armor and armor breaks. Death's door. That is back. Footstep recordings. Oh my God. Loot chests, buy stations, contracts, UI sounds. They've updated the audio. Okay, this is kind of a weird one. So we're gonna dive into it, but I apologize if things get. Oh my God. Hold on just a second. I'm trying to get back to where I was. I had everything in the right spot, and then I moved. Look, hold on. We gotta go right back down. We're almost there. I apologize. I was trying to zoom in for y'all. And of course, I keep forgetting that it breaks it. So audio occlusion and reverb transitioned from older ray-casted occlusion system to Microsoft Triton Acoustics audio middleware, providing realistic audio occlusion, obstruction, and reverberation. So it should be a little bit better than what we have now, but I don't trust it. I'm going to be honest, because every time they change the audio, they mess something up. Improved sound behavior around corners and surfaces. Custom tuned data specifically optimized for Call of Duty Warzone, which is a W. Sound modifiers adopted new procedural sound technology developed by Treyarch that dynamically adjusts sounds based on gameplay elements, entity speed, angle, elevation. Footsteps and ladders. Unique tuning for Call of Duty Warzone footsteps separate from premium titles. Yes. Friendly teammates' footsteps reduced when positioned behind the player. Footstep loudness dynamically scales with entity speed. So when you go faster, your footsteps are louder. Footstep pitch changes based on player elevation. That's good. Ladder sounds amplified and adjusted based on player movement speed. So when you're slowly going up the ladder, it'll be less loud, which is kind of funny. Boosted audio cues for jumping, landing, and distinctive ceiling footsteps to clearly indicate players running overhead. That's huge. Cloth and gear mantling. Cloth and gear sounds are now distinctively tuned for Call of Duty Warzone, separate from premium titles. Increased clarity and volume of mantling and melee sounds, differentiating friendly and enemy movements. That's cool. Enhance mantling audio to resemble footsteps for greater situational awareness. Okay. Loot box actually has its audio pitches now dynamically adjusting based on the vertical elevation, providing clearer vertical positional feedback. Also, you will know hum down here or hum up here. Now, bug fixes. This is a list of fixes that are going to be fun, but this is kind of the end of it. So let's run through it. Fix an issue that caused the death recap widget to register bleed damage while in last stand. Okay. Fixed an issue where Bomb Squad incorrectly allowed fuse resets. This functionality is exclusive to reflexes. Fixed an issue causing players to be eliminated when mantling onto care packages. W. Fixed an issue where players were eliminated upon interacting with the most wanted reward crate. Fixed a UI error preventing players from creating new loadouts. Fixed an issue causing a dev error when opening the armor challenge menu. Fixed a dev error when exiting private matches. Fixed an issue with the Corvus Master Key underbarrel. Fixed an issue with the Quartermaster suppressor from unlocking properly. Fixed an issue causing certain equipment to duplicate upon redeployment. Never ran into that. Fixed an issue where players would teleport across the map when using an ascender in the pregame lobby. What the hell? Fixed an issue with the incorrect display of full Activision IDs. Fixed an issue where players lost control after jailbreak revivals. Fixed an issue with the gas mask overlay not aligning properly with the screen boundaries. Fixed an issue preventing restocking of Gulag lethals and tacticals. Yes, that is huge. Fixed an issue allowing infinite submissions of biometric that was a thing. Fixed an issue making it where players can't interact with their loadout after redeploying from the Gulag. Fixed an issue causing incorrect cache displays for spectating players. W. Fixed an issue causing loss of field upgrade deployment ability after using a loadout. Fixed an issue with Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 camo descriptions not clearly stating weapon level requirements. Immediate weapon fire and cutting a parachute without repressing the fire button. Yes. Fixed an issue causing obituary messages to overlap with the squad widget in the HUD. Incorrect elimination crediting to uninvolved players. Good. Contract icons incorrectly displaying elevation information. Fixed an issue where bunker boss, that doesn't even matter. It's not in the game. Fixed numerous legacy weapon descriptions and statistics, and fixed an issue preventing Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 weapons from appearing correctly in the loot feed. I'm just going to let it run for a minute because I need y'all to understand what we just went through. I need you to understand the vastness of everything that was in this update. This is so much stuff that they have added into this update. And it just continues to go and go and go and go and go and go. And keep in mind, I minimized a lot of stuff whenever I was going through this. They have one of the biggest updates, if not the biggest singular update we've ever seen. And they've been working on it for years. This, to me, means that Warzone's back. All right, that's where I am, is I feel like today is the right time to say, ladies and gentlemen, Call of Duty Warzone, the one, the only, the GOAT is back. And I am pumped, honestly. I'm so freaking excited. Look, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a lot from it. I will be seeing you on the 3rd. I'll be seeing you every day before then too, but I'll be seeing you on the 3rd. We've got merch dropping. Make sure to go check that out on expel.gg. The second it goes live, you want to be there because we are in limited quantities. If it sells out instantly, we will get more, but we are currently in limited quantities, and it'll take a little bit to restock it. With that said, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. I'm excited to spend this next year with you. It's going to be the best year, dude. It's going to be, I'm so freaking pumped. I'm so pumped, man. Y'all have a great day. I'll see you there.